Imagine this: the golden boy of the Broncos, the kid with the lightning speed and the smile that sells out jerseys, vanished. Poof. Gone from the 2026 calendar like a ghost in the night. Reece Walsh, the face of the future, scrubbed clean. What dark secret could erase a superstar from his own team's legacy? Stick around, because this bombshell will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about NRL stardom. Hit that subscribe button right now on Aussie NRL Update, your front row seat to the drama that shakes the league. Don't miss a beat, turn on notifications before the next twist drops. Deep in the heart of Brisbane, where the Broncos roar echoes like thunder over Suncorp Stadium, a quiet revolution was brewing. Reece Walsh, the 22-year-old prodigy who dazzled the world with his electric footwork and unflinching courage under the high ball, was supposed to be the centerpiece of the club's 2026 calendar. Fans had already started dreaming of those glossy pages, Walsh mid-air, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, his tattooed arms flexed in triumph. But as the printers hummed to life in late November 2025, something sinister shifted. Whispers in the club corridors turned to outright panic. The calendar arrived stunning shots of Reynolds, Cabo, and the rising stars, but Walsh? Not a single frame. It was as if he'd never existed in maroon and gold. The shock rippled through fan forums faster than a Walsh breakaway, leaving supporters stunned and seething. Why would the Broncos, desperate to rebuild their empire after years of heartbreak, erase their most marketable asset? The answer lay buried in a web of contracts and egos, a tale as old as sport itself, money, power, and the brutal business of image rights. But hold on, because the real betrayal wasn't just the omission, it was the clause that no one saw coming, the one that could unravel the entire Broncos dynasty. As the dust settled on that fateful reveal, the league's insiders began piecing together the puzzle. It started innocently enough, back in the off-season glow of 2025, when Walsh's skyrocketing profile collided with the cold machinery of NRL merchandising. With 665,000 Instagram followers devouring his every post, from cheeky training clips to heartfelt tributes to his indigenous heritage, Walsh wasn't just a player anymore, he was a brand. Sponsors circled like sharks, and his management team, sharp as a state of origin edge, smelled opportunity. They pitched a simple deal to the Broncos: feature Reece in the calendar, sure, but pay up for the privilege. Royalties on every copy sold, a cut of the digital downloads, full control over his intellectual property. The club, strapped for cash after a roller coaster season, balked. Negotiations dragged into the humid Queensland nights, voices rising in boardrooms overlooking the Brisbane River. Then, the hammer fell: a blanket ban. Walsh's camp pulled the plug, forbidding any use of his likeness without ironclad terms. The Broncos, cornered, printed without him. Fans tore open their Christmas parcels to find a void where their hero should have been, a calendar that felt incomplete, like a team sheet missing its fullback. But just when you think it's a straightforward standoff, enter the surprise twist. Leaked emails reveal the Broncos had offered a king's ransom, only for Walsh's team to demand veto power over the entire shoot. Was this protection, or something far more personal? The kind of grudge that simmers from Walsh's rocky Broncos return in 2022, when off-field troubles nearly derailed his career? Picture the scene: a young Reece, fresh-faced and fearless, bursting onto the scene as a teen sensation for the Warriors, only to be lured back to Brisbane amid whispers of family ties and unfinished business. By 2023, he'd ignited the Broncos' grand final charge, his try-saving tackles becoming folklore. Yet beneath the glory, cracks formed. That infamous 2023 street brawl, the social media storms, the weight of being the face of a franchise hungry for redemption, it all piled on. Fast forward to 2025, and Walsh's camp wasn't just haggling over calendars, they were drawing a line in the sand. No more being the club's unpaid billboard. The ban wasn't impulsive, it was a calculated strike, echoing broader NRL tensions where players like Joey Manu and Dylan Edwards have flexed their IP muscles. For Broncos faithful, it stung like a sin bin send-off. Social media erupted, petitions circulated demanding Walsh's reinstatement, memes mocked the club's cursed merch game, and pundits speculated on contract fallout. Could this spark a mass exodus of talent? The surprise hit harder when Walsh himself broke silence on his podcast, voice steady but eyes flashing with unresolved fire. "I love the Broncos, but love doesn't mean getting used." The words hung heavy, a cliffhanger in human form. Fans leaned in, hearts pounding. Would this fracture the club's spine, or forge a fiercer loyalty? And lurking in the shadows, rumors of rival clubs circling, ready to poach the prodigy if the Broncos didn't bend. Now, let's zoom out to the bigger battlefield, where the NRL's glittering facade hides a war over who owns the spotlight. Calendars aren't just paper, they're gold mines, raking in $20 a pop for the Broncos, with Walsh's face potentially boosting sales by 30%. His absence? A gut punch to revenue, but a wake-up call to the league. Players' unions buzzed with approval, hailing it as a victory for athlete empowerment in an era where TikTok virality trumps try-scores. Yet for the Broncos, it's a nightmare wrapped in nostalgia. Remember 2006, when a calendar controversy nearly toppled the dynasty? History rhymes, and this erasure feels like déjà vu on steroids. The storytelling turns tragic here. Imagine the young fans, the ones who idolize Walsh's journey from McKay Streets to maroon jerseys, unwrapping that calendar to find their mirror image missing. Disappointment morphs to disillusionment, and in a league fighting for Gen Z souls, that's lethal. But wait, the moment of surprise drops like a bomb. Insiders whisper that Walsh's ban extends beyond Broncos merch. It's a league-wide edict. No NRL-wide calendars, no All-Stars posters without his sign-off. The fullback who's saved more games than he can count is now gatekeeping his own legend. Cliffhanger alert: as 2026 training camps loom, will Kevin Walters bench him in protest, or will a midnight deal resurrect the icon? The tension coils tighter, pulling you deeper into this saga of speed, spite, and the soul of the sport. And here's where it gets personal, folks, the human heartbeat behind the headlines. Reece Walsh isn't just pixels on a page, he's a son of the people, raised on the resilience of First Nation stories, carrying the weight of representation on those broad shoulders. His management? Not faceless suits, but a tight-knit crew who've seen too many stars burned by exploitative deals. This ban? It's their shield, forged in the fires of Walsh's early scandals, when tabloids feasted on his vulnerabilities. The Broncos, for all their bluster, are family too. Walsh's return was a prodigal son's homecoming, laced with unconditional love. But love sours when ledgers don't balance. Fans flooded Walsh's DMs, a torrent of pleas and prayers. Come back to the calendar, Reece. We need you. His response? A cryptic story post: strength in standing firm. The storytelling swells with emotion here, painting Walsh not as villain, but visionary, a kid forcing the game to grow up. Surprise strikes again, buried in fine print. The Broncos' offer included a charity clause, donating Walsh royalties to Indigenous youth programs. He turned it down, demanding direct control to ensure authenticity. Noble? Or naive in a cutthroat coliseum? As the off-season chill sets in, the cliffhanger builds. Leaked texts show club brass pleading, Walsh's camp unyielding. Will this schism spill onto the field, turning Origin into a proxy war? Or does it birth a new